Hi, bird nerds, plant nerds, wildlife gardeners. I'm Grant. I'm a horticulturist and a bird nerd. Uh, I'm a big lover of native plants. It's another holiday weekend, so who is hanging out today, folks? Talking about habitat gardening, gardening for wildlife, gardening for birds, selecting cool and interesting plants. Just like to get comfortable. There we are. That you could use in your garden to bring in birds, insects, mammals, reptiles, anything you would like, arthropods. Um, who knows? You might be lucky enough to live somewhere where you could get the odd crustacean. Of course, there's going to be gastropods coming in. Don't know what any of them are. Ask a question. Let's get to the bottom of it. Folks, I'm a little bit disappointed. I've been perusing nursery catalogues online, looking for particular plants. And I'll tell you what I'm looking for. If you are a regular watcher or listener for the Bird Emergency or Habitat Gardening, you'll know that I have a companion called Loz. And Loz is a rainbow lorikeet. And I want to give Loz a bit more variety, a bit more um, stimulation when I'm feeding and giving Loz things to experience. So I've been looking for small, miniature plants that I can grow in, up to maybe 8-inch, 200 ml pot size and get some flowers, and be small enough that I can place in Loz's palatial cage. I should call it a refuge because it's where Loz goes to feel safe and to play. All the toys are in there. The bath is in there. but so many of the plants that I wanted to procure seemed to be very difficult to get. And I was particularly looking for um, Banksias like honeypots that I know are really small. There's quite a few of those small cultivar selected or hybrid Banksias that will flower when they're still in the pot. So I can rotate them into from in the cage back outside, back into the sun, and keep them fresh, and also be pruning them at different times to promote flowers at different times. So I get a long period of flowering. And that's pretty much what I wanted to talk a little bit about today. Of course, this segment is for you to ask any question you like. My topic is only a suggestion. So I'd love you to ask anything that is on your mind. I would also like to just convey some good news. And if Stan from Kangaroo Island comes on, I hope he'll be able to fill us in on the good news story of the day. I think I'm a few days late, but I did see it on the TV today. The good news is that Valerie has been found after being missing for, I think, almost 2 years, about 18 months. Valerie has been found. Valerie was lost on Kangaroo Island. So if Stan's in the in the in the chat today, he may like to flesh out the story. If not, I'll reveal the news about Valerie shortly. But I guess I'm interested in your thoughts today. If you've been plant shopping recently, how have you found the experience? Um, have you found any? Have you found any really great nurseries? Fantastic. Stan is here today. What? Are you kidding me? Valerie was a hoax. You mean those delightful young couple that I've been seeing on the TV with Valerie the Dachshund missing was actually a hoax? Stan, you have to give us the details. This is a scoop, folks. I have watched the Valerie story this morning on 3 different TV networks in the news. It's their good news story for the day. I have to say, I was a little bit annoyed when I first heard about Valerie, and that's months and months ago. What were they doing letting Valerie loose anyway? Why wasn't Valerie contained? I did see Valerie's living conditions apparently today. Here we go. Stan, I was going to say, you just kidding. Valerie wasn't a hoax, but ignoring the story. Yeah, I don't blame you for ignoring all the hype, but it was nice. I'll tell you what made me angry about it when I first saw it. And look, folks, Valerie was a dachshund that went missing on Kangaroo Island, and I think it was 500 and something days Valerie was missing, and Valerie's turned up, and I think they actually put a heap of um, funding into it. I'm sure some government funding went into trying to find this dog. But I was really concerned that dachshunds are very, very efficient hunters. I had a dachshund when I was a kid, and even though Heidi was pretty old and I think had some arthritis or whatever in her joints, she was pretty good at hunting down any fluffy little animal. She was a good ratter, as they call them. She would go after rabbits, but that would include any of the native little animals as well. So I wasn't terribly happy that someone had let their dog disappear like that. Anyway, Stan, how's your garden? And who else have we got here? Who have we got here today? All right, Stan. No Twitches yet. I'm going to have to start really working on building up Twitch, I think. Are we struck by election fever? Have we got there yet? I voted this week early. That was a bit of an experience too. I must say the line for early voting on when did I go? I went on Wednesday, and the line was bigger than last year when I voted on election day on Saturday. So we're a week out. G'day, Glenn. Glenn's nice to see you again, Glenn. How's the Mount Annan weather today? What's the highlight at Mount Annan? Stan's still waiting for rain. So you missed out on the rain. The East Coast system didn't get over that far. I was chatting with someone online. Can't remember. It was probably on Twitter actually, and they were from Western Victoria, and they're in a rain shadow area, and they were desperate for rain, and they got some last night, so they were very happy about that. It more and more stances. Got 2 mil yesterday. Well, 2 mil can be quite a lot if you can stop it just evaporating or running off. Probably need to talk a little bit more about some of those strategies to retain water when you are losing some. Hello to the new Facebook people coming in. Good morning. Open slather really today. So I want to know a few things. Have you been shopping for plants? My both in-person visits to some local plant stockists and some online perusing, and I'm looking for very particular types of plants at the moment, has been very unsatisfactory. So, have you been out looking for plants? Are you propagating? I've got some things propagating at the moment, but it's coming along a lot slower than I had hoped. I guess the other thing I wanted to talk about a little bit today was some of the plants that are really great in the garden, but that really don't get any attention. So let me just put a banner up. Edit this one. Here's a genus which is in the Melaleuca family, and they have really interesting foliage. The Calathemnus quadrifagus is the one you'll usually see in the trade. Um, the honey eaters love it. Honey eaters love it. Really adaptable, drought hardy. You can prune the Jesus out of it. Uh, Two forms. Bright. The foliage is sort of stiff needle-like foliage. Can be quite pointy. Some people are a bit allergic to the needle, pointy needly bits. But there's a light green, slightly furry foliage variety, and then a hard, dark green foliage variety. But they love to be pruned, and the more you prune them, the more flowers you get, and they flower on the second year wood. So you let it grow away, and then you prune it back quite hard, maybe 2/3 of the current year's growth, and then you'll get flowers on that on the current year growth that you've left behind. But you'll get the flowers there next year, and they grow. The flowers are on the stem like many of the callistum and melaleuca. Well, no, more likely melaleuca varieties on that second year wood. Um, but a great space filler, a good refuge plant for some of the smaller birds, but really overlooked. Um, so the Calathemnus and the mental block. What do I want? The emu bush. What Eremophilas? They're two genus or genera that I think get overlooked here in Australia a lot. Seeing many more Eremophilas available in the trade, but can't buy them in the sizes that I wanted generally, because so many of them are grafted and they can't get the money they need back for the investment in the labour, selling them in 6-inch or 140 mil, even 170 mil pots. So, holiday weekend. Did you do anything, Stan? Like for the Easter? Did you have a good break? I did see you popped up a video or two. Do you check out the motor shows? Like, have you been looking at the big Chinese motor show that showed all those concept cars, and, some of the cool Teslas, and Glenn's out in the Bot Gardens. What's in flower, Glenn? Oh, my family of willy wagtails that have started visiting the bird bath. I think I mentioned either last week or the week before that they had started popping in. They're here every day, and they're starting to hang around and have taken ownership of the patch of grass, the lawn out the front of the unit. So I think they're here to stay as long as the insects can stick around. I'm contemplating. I'm always torn with this idea about what to feed. Whether to feed. But I'm thinking I might start putting a bit of insectivorous, Wombaroo insectivorous mix out, just so that if the honey eaters will get into that, and so will the magpies. I've heard butcherbirds again this week. Now that is really rare here, but I'm hearing them, and I did hear a currawongs, so that's pretty early. I heard currawongs in the distance yesterday. Um, now Stan's been laying low. Okay, um, just because you're busy, Stan, or are you avoiding someone locally? Heading to the Coorong next week. Well, um, I'm thinking that it's years since I was last at the Coorong, but of course there's pelicans. I did see plenty of pelicans, egrets and herons. You're going to see, depending on the water levels, you're going to see different ducks and swans. Uh, but as for the birds that are living along the fringes, I'd expect you're going to see cisticolas, maybe some reed warblers, some grass birds uh, if you're sharp. I imagine you're going to see some red-browed finches. There's going to be thornbills. Uh, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not sure. How about let me see if I can help you out with that, Stan. I'm just going to look up. Just going to look up some of the hotspots. What's Glenn got to tell us today? Weather-wise today, not all good. Not at all good. Here we go. Pop that up, Glenn. Um, dry, 20 degrees, no wind, bird life. Rose robin, very good. A pair or male or female, scarlet robins as well. So honey eaters, white note, fuscus, lewins, yellow face, flowering Banksias are flowering. Have you got any of the midget, the mini ones? Okay. I'm just looking to see if anyone's got the Coorong. It hasn't come up even in the. Oh, I better sign in. I might get it. Might be able to get better. Sign in. Of course, this is the most interesting part of the show when I explore hotspot map. That's what I'm going to look at and see if we can find something amazing at the Coorong. See what's been. Of course, you'll be going. Where are we going? We're looking for Okay, so at the bottom end, uh, 216 species at the bottom end, getting the hotspots out. Oh, there's some good ones there. Okay. We got that. Okay, it looks like the best spot is about midway down. View the details. This one's just tagged no new species this month. Oh, hang on, that's not. Oh, here we go. Yes, it is. I'll look at the latest checklist for you. Okay, there's no new. The latest checklist on eBird for the Coorong was 23rd of 23rd of October. 37 species. That's pretty good, but you can get nearly 200. Okay, let's have a look. Emu, black swan, Australian shell duck, Pacific black duck, grey teal, chestnut teal, Australasian swanpen, pied stool, red-necked avocet, Australian pied oystercatcher, masked lapwing, bar-tailed godwit, common greenshank, sharp-tailed sandpiper, curlew sandpiper, Pacific gull, kelp gull. That'll be a nice one if you get the kelp gull. Fairy tern, Caspian tern, whiskered tern, crested tern, hoary-headed grebe, great crested grebe, great cormorant, black-faced cormorant. That would be a nice one for you to pick up, although you'd probably get those on Kangaroo Island anyway. Australian white ibis, royal spoonbill, little egret, white-faced heron, great egret, Australian pelican, swamp harrier, whistling kite. Yeah, those two I think you would get any time of the year. Willie wagtail, Australian reed warbler, and welcome swallow. I'll just go back and have a look at the go back and have a look for one in April. Bear with me. Stan, you've just tagged me in Blue Sky, have you? Let me have a look. I'm just looking for. The closest one we've got is March last year. Oh, there's some good ones there. Cape Barren goose is an extra. Eurasian coot, sooty oystercatcher, common sandpiper, redneck stint, Caspian tern. These are added to the last one. Little pied cormorant, great cormorant, little black cormorant, pied cormorant, royal spoonbill, yellow-billed spoonbill, white-bellied sea eagle, Australian raven, and welcome swallow. So interesting. Let me just check out the Blue Sky that you tagged me in. Handsome pigeon. Oh, you got a nice crested pigeon there. Very nice. That is a good looking pigeon. Okay. I will repost that. If anyone wants to know what Stan's talking about, just find me on Blue Sky, thebirdemergency.com/Blue Sky will take you there. Glenn's got an update on the Rose Robins. Rose Robins a pair, the scarlet solitaire male. Banksias have several, that's for miniature, have several sets of birthday candles. Yeah, I'm looking for birthday candles and honey pots. The birdsong Banksia is low hay style, but I wouldn't call it miniature. Yeah, but it can be pruned. Yeah, that's one I've been looking for. Hey, Glenn, if you want to take some cuttings and wrap them up in some plastic and a bit of mist spray, plastic bags, and mail them to me. That would be fantastic. Because I'm getting to that stage where I've got to look for things to take cuttings from because I'm just not finding the stock available. Hello to the new YouTubers and the new Facebookers. We're just generally rapping about anything today. My bugbear for the week is that I'm actively out there trying to buy some plants that I can use that will flower in the miniature, i.e., that I can keep them in their pot, pop them in Loz's cage, or dot them around the house, and Loz can feed, and then I can take them back outside again to freshen up, and then I can keep them pruned into fairly uh, small size. So the Grevillea rosemarinifolia nana, or the miniature, I've been looking for, and also the miniature variety of Grevillea levangulacea. But they must have all gone out of style, or I know I've railed on and about this before, but the retail nurseries have just been decimated by Bunnings, basically, and the growers grow what Bunnings want, and they don't want to order 2 of something and 1 of something and 4 of something. They only want to get 50 of something so they can get a big discount. So it's disappointing, and I don't have any specialty nurseries in my region. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to look for a bird song, Banksia bird song. Maybe I'll go out tomorrow and look for one. Although I do have to go into the city on Monday. That would give me an opportunity to check out a few. I can probably head out. Yeah. Just talking to myself about that. Just planning. Glenn, what is in flower? Which Banksias are in flower at your place? And what are the highlights in the Mount Annan Botanic Gardens at the moment? Stan, have you got anything in flower? And did you manage to track down any of the plants that we sort of talked about recently? Thank you, Glenn. Well, I will message you an address, Glenn. I would appreciate that greatly. I know most of the cuttings will transport pretty well, especially if they're express posted. So that would be great, and we could preserve your favourite plant lines. Love doing cuttings. Really do enjoy doing cuttings and experimenting with different rooting compounds and seeing what works, and also different propagation media. That's always fun. Stan, if you're still paying attention, what's going on in your garden? What's going on Kangaroo Island? I did see there was a story here in Victoria where the Department of Conservation, or whatever it's called, Conservation and Land Management, or whatever else it's called, they're doing aerial culling of koalas. So we've got this ridiculous situation that, and I know this is the situation that you are facing on Kangaroo Island, Stan, that there are too many koalas in parts of Australia, but they're potentially going extinct in other parts of Australia. And what are we doing? We are culling the koalas because it's not economic, I guess. I guess there's probably, I guess I'm pretty sure we'd find some biologists who would say do not translocate them, probably because of genetics, um, I think. But it just seems insane that we've got an icon species in Australia and we've got charity groups, land care groups doing everything they can to to preserve and optimize habitat for koalas. And in 2 states, we are killing them. It's just bonkers. Stan is waiting for rain. Well, I hope you get some, and I hope you get some soon, Stan. Glenn is telling us my yard got several birdsong. That's Banksia birdsong in flower. 2 birthday candles, and the hairpin Banksia. Now, your hairpin Banksia is a really interesting one because it's Banksia spinulosa, and there's a couple of flower varieties, a couple of flower colour varieties, and Banksia spinulosa and Banksia collina used to be 2 different species, but now they're called the same one. And there's sort of yellowy, there's sort of reddy flowers, and there's almost sort of purpley flower varieties. But the black style, which gives it the hairpin name, is the common thing across all those flower styles. So, yeah, there are dwarf varieties, and I think a lot of those birdsong and birthday candles and everything are actually hybrids of Collina and Spinulosa. Spinulosa and Ericofolia. Um, so yeah, I need to chase that down a bit more. It's a long time since I've looked at all the parentage of those different varieties, but yeah, they're cool. Stan says, I saw that aerial culling story and sadly thought it's only a matter of time before they do that here. Yeah. But so the interesting thing is, Stan, the department started doing it and didn't do any publicity about it. And then people found out and publicised it. And then the department had to quickly come out and go, oh, yeah, it's really important. We need to do it. I think it's a matter of cost management, that the idea of translocating them is pretty expensive, but I'm sure that they could. But I'm equally sure that there will be biologists who will watch this later on, and maybe some that I've interviewed over time would be saying, no, it's a bad idea. I don't know. I mean, I am a horticulturist. I'm not a biologist, and I'm certainly not a population biologist. But it just seems to be very, 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 very loopy that they're being culled. Yeah, this is why this is one of the reasons why I've been going on for so long. And I mean, I'm only a recent convert. If we were better able to manage corridors, be it either on roadsides, using the roads, or using fence lines, boundary fences, adjoining fences, if we were able to use corridors, we could have these populations to be mobile. Uh, yeah, Stan, it's a good point here. Well, I think there is habitat left on the mainland. I just don't think it's very close to where the koalas are at the moment. There's certainly habitat left on the mainland, and I think that's something where people say that there's no habitat, but I'll bet that they haven't done any population surveys in the habitat to know whether those that habitat could support more koalas. I think there's always, I mean, government will always advance a reason why they can't do something because it costs money. I would like to know when the last population uh, surveys were in the habitats, certainly in Victoria, uh, where koalas maybe once were and where there's far fewer of them. Um, that's what decades of inaction, where we've allowed patches of suitable habitat to become isolated, and if animals can't disperse, well, then you do get overcrowding. So, overpopulation. I don't know. Well, if you've been watching me for the last year or so, you know that I am becoming less and less confident that anything that we do is of any long term benefit now. I mean, did any of you see the latest coral reef bleaching information for the world? That's grim. That's super grim. Anyway, we can do gardening for the time that we have left. So that's what I would. That's where I think I'm going to be putting uh, my energy. Um, what other news can I give you? I've ordered some more tubes and whatnot for growing on these seedlings that I'm growing. Um, I, I did put this offer out there for people who wanted to take out a membership that I would send uh, seedlings to to them so that they could either grow them, plant them out themselves, or distribute them to friends and family. I still would really like to do that. I'd love to do, koala friendly plants and honey eater friendly plants, small bird friendly plants. But I didn't get a lot of take up. I certainly didn't get much feedback in terms of messages or whatnot. So I'm not sure that that is something that people are really wanting me to do. So maybe I'll just concentrate on getting back into the swing of interviewing. I'll let you know. I've been doing a course, um, an English language teaching course, which I found. I think I'm not oversharing. I don't think I found really difficult. Of all of the study I've ever done in my life, this is the only stuff that I've found hard, apart from when I was trying to do maths in year 10 and 11, and I'm not a maths person. So I found doing general maths really difficult. But I've also found doing teaching English very difficult. Now I've got observations and on Monday, which will mean I'll be busy all day Monday. And then a week after, I have more observations, and I've got stuff that I have to uh, have to prepare and hand in. But by the end of May, I'm finished that, so I can get back into putting more time into doing interviews with people and preparing for interviews, because preparing for interviews takes a lot of time. Well, that's if you want to do the interview well, I guess. And then I'm going to spend the rest of the year planning out a bit of an adventure. Planning out a bit of an adventure and going to some of the key biodiversity areas. Bird emergency listeners and watchers will know that I've talked about riding a bike all over the joint, and I think we'll actually move towards making that happening. Now, absolutely no gardening questions. I really need to do some more promotion, don't I, to get more gardening questions coming in. We'll get some trivia happening too after I've done my observations. Maybe Friday next week. I won't make a promise yet, but so try to. I've been collecting lots of good trivia questions. I just haven't made the overlays and all those kind of things that I need to do to make it a fun event. But yes, let's see if we can get some trivia going. And I think we might do some gardening trivia, maybe to follow up the Q&A part of the show in the weeks and months to follow. So any questions and comments? Stan, if you want to check out what you're likely to see, eBird, check out eBird, and that list I looked at was from 2024 in March, the Coorong National Park. So definitely that would be a good spot to start. I know the times I went to the Coorong, because I grew up in a place that was very similar to the dunes and around the Gippsland Lakes was sort of very similar. Lake Reeve, particular, very similar to the Coorong. I know that there's not a lot of bush birds all year round there, but I would expect that you might find some, maybe some rufous whistlers, and you should be finding thornbills and scrub wrens as well, fairy wrens at times. But it's mostly going to be ducks and egrets and waders at the right time. So I hope you do find lots of good stuff there. Okay. Any questions, horticulture questions, plant questions? Sam's going to be packing his binoculars. Very good. Look, Stan, it's expensive to do adventuring. So I've been salting away a little fund, and I have to replace the computer. I have to buy another camera, organise the bike. I've got a bike that I'm going to buy, but I need to change the wheels. I'm planning it for the future. It'll probably be after I do a short trip up to the Philippines and perhaps drop in on the Bali sailing sanctuary in Bali as well. We'll just see. We'll just see how the funds hold out, and then perhaps I'll look at 2026 as being a bit of a expedition year. I think it'll take that long to plan it, try and find some support, some sponsorship. Um, if I do, if I go away, I need to be able to bring Loz with me. Um, so it means he'll be spending time in a backpack and then on a tether. Um, so there's a lot of those things I need to think about. Anyway, anyway, it is a lot to think about. While we're here, I might just have a look at that eBird just and see if there's been any real good rarities cropping up. Explore, explore. Um, Alerts. This is what I want to do. Alerts. Let's check out the rarities for Victoria. Let's see. Last 7 days. Magpie goose. Where was that? Bairnsdale. Okay. Australian shoveler, brown quail. I'll flick through to anything that I think is really. Oh, diamond dove. Where was that? Wangaratta. That's a nice one. Bar-shouldered dove in Loddon. Shining bronze cuckoo. Pacific swift. Pretty widespread. So yeah, that's the time that we're going to start seeing them moving through. Spotless crake. Double-banded plover in the Lake Lonsdale in the Grampians. Okay. Quite a few. Oh, Arctic Jaeger on the surf coast. Little Eagle. In South Melbourne. Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. That's a good one. Oh, Steve Davidson. Good get. Okay. Sooty Owl. Oh, Alpine up in the restricted access. Yes. Eastern Barn Owl, Mount Hotham. Powerful Owl in Whittlesea. Okay. Superb Parrot up in the Indigo Shire. Rutherglen kind of area. Okay, so a couple there. Superb. All there. All in. Okay, all on the one property. Oh, this must have been on a bird tour. Also in Barnawatha, that's good. King Parrot in Buninyong, near Ballarat. Also Hobson's Bay in the Altona. Malvern. Okay, that's good. Well, they're moving around. Rainbow lorikeet. Why is that? I don't know why that one is in the rare bird alert. Lewin's honeyeater in Benalla. Yeah, that's not a bad one. Crescent honeyeater in the Pyrenees and also in Benalla. That's a good one. Oh, another one in Benalla. Nothing in Gippsland. I used to like seeing them in Gippsland, but that's all Benalla, northeast Victoria. Anyway, we're not really talking much gardening, are we? White-eared. Why is the white-eared honeyeater in the pilot bird? Again, up in the Alpine area. Chestnut rumped heath wren, Greater Geelong area. Olive whistler in Knox. Golden whistler. Why is golden whistler in here? White-breasted wood swallows. Where are they? Grampians, Horsham. Okay, they're all good. Magpie hybrid, Australian magpie hybrid. Seen one of them here in St Albans years ago. Pink robins. Pink robins in Darabin. Okay. Oh, La Trobe Uni. That's good in their sanctuary. That's good. Flame robins in Caulfield Racecourse. Brown songlark. Where was that? Caulfield Racecourse as well. Ah, okay. Well, nothing terribly amazing in there. Um, I was really hoping we'd get some gardening questions today. I'll have to start promoting a bit far and wider, further and wider. So we do get some more gardening questions about. All right, folks. I think that's going to be enough. What have we? Oh yeah, nearly cracked an hour. Not one question, just comments. That was good. Yeah, sorry, just thinking. Maybe, just thinking. Okay, Glenn, I will be in touch with you via probably an email, I guess. Stan, enjoy the weekend or the rest of the weekend on Kangaroo Island. I hope you get a little bit more rain. That would be great. I'll get back to doing some English teaching homework, try and catch up on what I'm behind on, and look forward to catching up with all of you next week. There will be some bird emergency next week, and if I can get my shit together, we might do a trivia next Saturday. That might be fun. After anyway, watch out on the Discord for an announcement and on the Bird Emergency socials. And if you've got questions, store them up for me. Anything that you're thinking about, because I need to keep me horticulture. You have to keep me horticulture mind sharp. Yes, Glenn, I shall do. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Freezer bags, newspaper, but I will let you know. Also, if you're going to send them, if you know you're going to send them like the next morning, take the cuttings in the evening, if possible, the day before, rather than having them out for a whole day. But that would be good. Hopefully you get to see lots of groovy birds over the next few days, and that all the bad news around the world doesn't make you any. Oh, where's this? Apparently it's. Oh, it must be in the city in Sydney. Lots and lots of rain happening in Sydney. We are getting a little bit here today. Nothing here in Melbourne, in Wurundjeri country. By the way, what we should take on the booing of the welcome to country at the Anzac ceremony in Australia by the same neo-Nazis that were at the Women's March, and God, they've done so many. This little group, I think they're the same group that went to, was it Bendigo or Ballarat, where they went and did their little Nazi meeting. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if someone starts doing bad things to those guys. Glenn's got no rain in Western Sydney. Yeah, I'm just looking. It was definitely King's Cross that someone had just tweeted and tagged me. So I'm not tweeted. I don't even know which app I'm on at the moment. So, but yeah, apparently it's raining hard in Sydney, in the city. Yeah, so don't go booing welcome to country, because they're not welcoming you to Australia. The morons don't seem to understand that. It's just like someone saying welcome at the front door and letting you in. Anyway, you wouldn't expect Nazis and racist bigots to understand that. We'll have a lot to talk about just generally next week, because the Canadian election, I think, is on. I think that's today or tomorrow Australian time. Today time if Canada. So that will be interesting. And then we've got our election will finish up in a week here in Australia. Hopefully it's a good time that, that we're not going backwards. But again, very, very little conversation about environment, biodiversity or anything in this whole campaign. It's been very depressing. I haven't even been able to find much to talk about other than bullshit when it comes to the election. The bullshit tactics, bullshit. Not really much in the way of real policy in the areas that I'm really interested in. So I haven't been talking about it. So basically. Yeah, all right, folks, done enough waffling. Enjoy your weekend. Hopefully you do some planting or some bird watching. Good luck at the Coorong stand. Hope you find a good mushroom glen for Shroom Saturday. I'm Grant. I'm a bird nerd. I'm also a horticulturist. This has been Habitat Gardening on the Bird Emergency. See you for this next week, 9:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, every Saturday, unless it's daylight savings time, and then it's 9:30 daylight savings time. Catch us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Be good. Be careful. See ya.